Namaste. Good to see you again in this now AI time video. Let's start with something very simple. We all know how risk and compliance work is becoming more complex these days. Teams are spending too much time on manual tasks. What if AI could help reduce that time, improve accuracy, and make decisions faster? This presentation is about how we did that using ServiceNow Now Assist in GRC. Before we go ahead, let me quickly introduce about myself. I'm Rajesh Singh. I work as ServiceNow Technical Architect. I have worked on GRC projects across different industries and countries. And I also hold CRISC and CIS certifications in multiple ServiceNow modules. In this session, I'll share some real examples and learnings from recent pilot implementation. For this presentation, I spoke to a couple of GRC end users, understood their pain points, and collected the actual effort they spend on this manual task. I also cross-checked this data with industry experts from Big Four and other industries. So what you're going to see today is a raw and a real data, not from any white paper or a theory. And this is purely based on pilot implementation. Okay. Now, a customer asked us to run a small pilot. The idea was simple. Let's try AI in just 3 use cases inside the GRC and see if it really helps. If it works well, then they will see the value and they will expand it further. So we picked up 3 common but a time heavy use cases, and those are out of box. Now let's see how much time and effort we could save with Now Assist and Agentic workflows. Now this was our first use case. Usually compliance teams spend hours reading regulatory documents, right? Whenever there is any new regulatory change alert, right? So they take they take hours to read and write a summary and checking what controls got impacted, right? If you see here, they read and analyze take 3 hours, map a controls and citations take another 2.5 hours, internal alignment with stakeholders take another half an hour. So totally the manual effort is 6 hours. But using Now Assist AI capabilities of ServiceNow, it takes 15, 10, 5, which is close to half an hour, right? So this is what we saved around 5.5 hours per task. That's almost 93% of savings, which is huge. Let's move on to the next slide. Next was the risk assessment. Here users had to read through many fields: residual risk, control effectiveness, commands, and they have to read on a lot of things, and it's a huge time consuming. Manually writing summaries takes time and often causes the delays. They have to review the risk and control data, extract the key commands, then writing a summary, which overall takes 2 hours. I'm not exaggerating, these are real data. Okay, and if you see what ServiceNow does everything in just close to 15 minutes. So we are saving almost like 1.83, which is close to 2 hours, which is 92% savings. That's beautiful. Let's move on to the next slide. This one was the big one, and my favorite. Usually, issue managers spend hours going through the issue. Whenever they receive an issue, there is a lot of manual work is done. Like the issue manager, right? He read and summarize the issue. It takes another, like he read and summarize the issue. He create a resolution plan. He draft the remediation task. He do work with it to several teams. That is why 1.5 hours, not just to read. He has to coordinate with several teams and understand and all these things. Very similar to incident management, right? So these kind of things takes minimum 5 hours, right? I'm taking an average about something which is like a time consuming one. And then whereas AI, what AI has a very similar model like an incident management. They refer to old issues, they refer to a knowledge base, they can refer to any repositories, they refer to that, and the first one is automatically done using Gen AI capabilities. It read and summarize the issue 5 minutes. In fact, it doesn't take 5 minutes. It takes hardly 1 minute. I kept it 5 minutes because a human has to review that output. Okay, so whatever you see AI effort, we have added additional time. Okay, and then create a resolution plan. Absolutely, AI takes a resolution plan less than a minute because they have all the repositories in place. Okay, our assumptions is you have all the solutions in place, then this is the idle effort. Okay, and the draft remediation task, not even in 10 minutes, it takes less than a minute again. So overall it takes 30 minutes, whereas the manual effort takes 5 hours. So the saving is 93%. Okay, so this is huge. So these are the 3 use cases which we were talking about. Now let's look at the numbers at the bigger level, right? We calculated the effort saved each month based on the average number of tasks. The numbers are very clear. Suppose there are 30 regulatory alerts and 55 risk assessment summarization and 40 issue summarization and resolutions. Then we just presume these numbers, okay? And if there is, then per task multiply by monthly volume gives you the total monthly manual hours. Similarly, you will get a total monthly AI hours and the savings. Your manual hours minus AI will give you your monthly savings after implementation of Now Assist. So these are the savings you are doing on just on 3 use cases. Okay, so total overall is 92%. Okay, so just remember these figures. Total monthly is 490, monthly AI hours is 35, and monthly hours saved is 454. Similarly, this graph, basically it's a visual comparison. Let me show you this in a simple way. This graph is where we compared manual effort, AI effort side by side. The blue one is monthly manual hours, the actual hours it takes. And the green one is AI hours after implementation of Now Assist. And the pink one is the savings which AI bought. Okay, so this is monthly comparison with your use cases. So this is just a visual comparison of a previous slide. Now, we also calculated this efforts in terms of full-time FTE. So previously you need 3.16 FTE to accomplish those 3 use cases. Now you just need 0.22 FTE. So on an average, you are actually freeing up 3 FTEs, right? That means nearly 3 people are now free to focus on more useful strategic work. So it's not a small saving, it's a big productivity jump. Consider just for 3 use cases, you're saving 3 FTEs. If we look at the same saving for the full year, even with the basic estimates, the organization can save around 360K to 450K annually just from these 3 use cases. See, 3 FTEs saving, and the average salary of a GRC FTE is 120K to 150K. Then if you multiply so if you take a conservative approach or aggressive approach, you're saving almost 360K to 450K, right? So if you apply this, imagine if this is not even a full scale, this is just a pilot. If we apply this to a more GRC processes, the savings can easily multiply. So yes, this clearly shows a strong business case for AI in GRC. Isn't it beautiful? Now imagine scaling this across all the GRC flows, right? If the 3 or 4 use case takes 3 FTEs, then imagine if we implement like full GRC capabilities like compliance, audit, risk policies, vendor risk management, and other modules. If we consider 8 use cases, then easily it could have been 6 to 7 FTE saving. And if we mix multiple modules, right, IRMS, PM, ITSM, around 20 use cases, then it will be like 12 to 15 FTEs. That means close to $1.5 million savings, right? So you just need a right use case and the right setup here. It doesn't take much to implement, but the return is very, very big. Thank you so much for your time and attention. I hope this session gave you a clear idea of how AI can help in real GRC work. These are not just slides, these are real numbers from a real pilot. What we saw the results and we believed it. that this can help many more customers. I actually thought to show a small technical demo also, how these use cases work step by step, but the video is getting a bit long, so I'll keep that for the next part. So stay tuned and do subscribe to this channel. In the next video, I'll show you the full technical demo of these GRC use cases. Thank you, and you have a great day.